Welcome everybody, welcome to Homestead Heart. And today I am outside and we are getting ready to make a compost area. So y'all stick around and I'm going to show you all how we put together a compost bin or a compost pile. Really simple. Y'all stay tuned. Alright you all, so I have already carved out a spot for our compost bins and we are going to have several compost bins. I know we're going to start off with 3, but we're going to have several compost bins in this area. And I've started off with our first compost area, and this space is actually a 3 by 3 by 3. So it's going to be 3 feet wide, 3 feet long, 3 feet tall. And I've already taken my shovel and just kind of outlined the first space here. And now I'm just going to take my pitchfork and I'm going to go ahead and aerate the ground underneath, okay? So, y'all stay tuned. That's what I'm about to do. Right here where I'm putting the compost pile, this ground is like super hard. So what I'm going to do is just kind of wet this just a little bit, just to soften this up, just a little bit. You would think that after all that rain it wouldn't be so hard, but it is rock hard over here. All right, you all. Now what I'm going to do is just put down the cardboard in this space. I'm going to put down some cardboard here. I'm using the cardboard as my bottom layer for my compost bin, my compost area here. Now that I have down my bottom layer, I'm going to take my water hose and I'm just going to moisten this a bit, just to wet it a little bit. I mean, it is cardboard, right? So, okay. I have the cardboard down where I'm going to have the compost located at here. Now I'm going to start layering this. You know, the cardboard is also considered carbon, and you're going to be layering this with carbon and nitrogen primarily, and then if you have some coffee grounds are really like those kickstarters in the compost pile. You can always add in some coffee grounds as well. I don't have any, so I'm just going to use my nitrogen. I'm going to use my carbon and my nitrogen. And the way we're going to layer this, we're going to layer this about 6 inches of carbon, and and then on top of that, we're going to add about 3 inches of nitrogen. Okay? Now the ratios are like 30 to 1, 30 carbon to 1 nitrogen. And I know that's confusing for a lot of people. So what I'm doing is, it's basically the same thing, but just a little different terminology. So what I'm doing, I'm going to put down 6 inches of carbon. And then I'm going to put down 3 inches of nitrogen. And that carbon can be your leaves. Carbon can be wood chips. It can be straw. It can be hay. It can be twigs. It can be toilet paper rolls. It can be balled up newspaper. You know, whatever you have, it needs to be a good source of carbon. All right? And then for your nitrogen, well, we're getting ready to cut some grass. So that's going to be our nitrogen, but grass clippings are nitrogen. Food scraps, it may not be as high in nitrogen as the grass clippings, but food scraps are a good source of nitrogen. But a great source of nitrogen, if you have chickens, is your chicken poop. So I'm going to be using chicken poop, and I'm going to be using food scraps that we had, and that is going to be my 3 inches of nitrogen. And what you'll do is you'll keep layering that. You'll layer the carbon, your nitrogen, and then right on top of that, you're just going to put like a little thin layer of your garden soil that you have, topsoil, whatever. You're going to put that, just a nice little dusting over the top of that. And then you're going to water. You're not going to drench it, but you are going to water it really good, okay? And once you water that, you're going to start over with your 6 inches of carbon, your 3 inches of nitrogen, and your little dusting of your topsoil. And you want that to get to be about 3 feet tall so that it can heat up in the center and begin to break down. Now, composting a lot of people do in the fall because you do have that just about an unlimited source of leaves. But in the summertime is really good because it helps it to heat up even faster. So that's why I'm doing our compost piles this summer, and then we'll do some in the fall as well. But we're going to go ahead and get this done. So, y'all, let's get it done. So I just hauled in a load of wood chips. Now in my wood chips, beautiful mix. In my wood chips I have straw, I have the wood chips, but I also have a lot of twigs. Look at this. Look, this is a beautiful mixture. Straw, twigs, and wood chips. This is what is going to be needed to not only keep air in the compost pile, but it's going to break down so fast too. 6 inches of raw compost. Get it spread out. Looks like I'm going to need another load. I would say we have achieved our 6 inches of wood chips. Now it's time for the nitrogen. Chicken poop and grass clippings. So now I'm going to start with my nitrogen. And what I'm going to do is put about an inch of this composted chicken manure over the top here, and then I'll add 2 inches of grass clippings. Just going to spread this out. This is raw chicken manure, you all. This is straight up raw manure. So yeah, this is going to be awesome. So this is probably more like 2 inches of chicken manure. But that's fine. It's not perfect, y'all. It don't have to be perfect, right? Everything that we do on our homestead, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be just like us, imperfect. But it works. All right. Next we're going to add grass clippings. Now I have the grass clippings, and now I'm going to go ahead and put on about 2 to 3 inches of grass clippings. And once I get the grass clippings on, then what I'm going to do is put a little soil over that and then water that in. So let's go ahead and get the grass clippings on. All right, now we're going to add some soil. All right, y'all. Now that I have a little bit of soil on the top, now I'm just going to water this in. You want to water every single layer that you put on. I'm just giving this a nice watering here. Okay, you all. So all we're going to do now is repeat this process of putting on wood chips, which is the carbon source, putting on your nitrogen source, which for me is the grass clippings, the chicken manure, or if you have kitchen scraps as well. And then after that, a little bit of soil on the top. And that is going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, this is the compost pile, all done, you all. I layered it like a cake. That's it, layered it like a cake. And remember, just to kind of recap, what I did was I broke up the soil underneath just with my pitchfork and a shovel, and then I watered that. It was really hard, so I moistened it a bit, and then I put the cardboard down, and then I moistened the cardboard. And from there, I began with my layers for my compost pile. Now, the cardboard is also considered carbon, but remember you need about 6 inches of carbon to begin with. So on top of the carbon, I just added some wood chips. And my wood chips were mixed with straw and twigs and small branches, you know, just everything that you might find in wood chips that hasn't been cleaned. So all of that is mixed in. On top of the wood chips, I added my nitrogen source, and my nitrogen source was the fresh grass clippings, a little bit of chicken manure on top of that, and then from there I added some garden soil, topsoil, whatever you have. That's what I added to the top. Now you can even add kitchen scraps as your source of nitrogen, but the nitrogen level in kitchen scraps is not as high as the nitrogen in your grass clippings, but they work. Okay, so use what you have, and you just can. And then after that, I just moistened it. I moistened every single layer, because if you try to water this thing from, look, we're talking about 3 feet. You'll be out here watering forever, right? So I watered each layer. So after I completed the wood chips and the grass clippings and manure, I watered it, and then I started over again and I watered that. So that's it. Easy compost pile. Easy compost pile. All right, you all, that is going to do it for making the compost pile. Isn't it easy? So easy to do, so easy to make. I know it's confusing, all that 30 to 1 here and there. Forget all of that, right? Make it simple for yourself, you know, and which is basically what I did. Just made it simple. It's just the easiest way that I can remember how to make a compost pile. Just 6 inches of carbon, 3 inches of nitrogen, and then you can also add your Kickstarter, which can be coffee grinds to the top of that, right? So that's really it. Oh no, I watered each layer as I went, and now the bed is nice and moist. I have a tarp over there that I'm going to put on the top of it and keep it covered. And because it's summer, this is going to heat up so fast. It's going to heat up really fast. And I may turn it next week, maybe once a week, turning it just to make sure that everything composts, you know. And so this is perfect. The wood chips that we got, we're still putting them to work. Yeah. So that's going to do it, you all. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, compost pile. Oh, we're going to wrap this in that old fencing that we had. We're going to put some fencing around this just to keep it in place and to keep Tamu out. Tamu seems to love wallowing around in the straw. So we're going to put this around just in case he wants to come and bulldoze it. Oh, Tamu. Gotta love my baby. But anyway, y'all, that is going to do it for today. Thank you all so much for watching and following along with us on our homesteading journey. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe to our channel as well. And remember to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a single video that we post to the channel. So thank you all again for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And we will see you in the next video.